Trump news.
Don't say KKK.
Don't say Here, listen to this. Nobody likes to talk about positive stuff in the news. Big Donnie D
Are the
says,
lights brighter than usual in here?
dude, it's fucking really bright today.
What happened?
No, I don't know what happened.
It's
I was
insane.
gonna say that earlier, but
It's
it's
insanely
really
bright. Is this thing too close or something?
No, I think it's just bright.
Oh, all right.
I don't know.
We got to figure out something for the glare on the TV.
We're gonna get soft boxes on everything. Let's soft box this shit up. But Big Donnie D says he's gonna eliminate the payroll tax upon becoming president.
That's not a thing he could realistically do, though, right?
I think they're saying he could do it. Here we go. He's gonna cut it, or that, or it's gonna be some sort of reimbursement. I think.
Isn't this the classic thing, though? Like every president says everything they're gonna do, and then no one ever does anything because most things you can't even do as president. You need like either the House or the Senate or whatever to help.
Yeah, but can't
But
you
then
just
everything's
veto
all-
it? Like say like, nah,
I think
we're
he
doing
has the
this.
power to shut shit down, but I don't think he has the power. I think he can do the army shit because of the UN. Like he can't activate the U.S. military because he has to like have one of the other sides help
But
him
he
out
can activate the UN military.
because of the 9/11 shit. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I loosely remember from a Tubi doc at
He's
2
trying
in
to-
the morning.
He's trying to get out of NATO. I think they just pushed something to make it to where he can't get out of NATO. Oh, I deleted it.
Yeah, he was trying to do that before, right?
That's because the NATO, like if Russia attacks a NATO country, where everybody's forced to go to war, so it automatically sparks a world war.
I don't want to mischaracterize my friend Thomas's the veteran.
A veteran. This is a veteran's point
But I
of view.
believe that was one of his own, like, he liked Trump in most categories. I think that was one of the only things he's like, yeah, no, that's fucking retarded. Like, you
Really?
can't come out in it. I believe that's where his stance was, yeah.
Interesting.
Because I think he said the same thing. He's like, you pull out of NATO, like, shit will fucking...
Because that's what's preventing. Because they say like that's what prevents a world war, right? Is that like if you attack Poland,
We should get Thomas on for a political correspondent.
I'm down. That'd be fun. Wait till the cabin episode. Does he have internet in the cabin?
I think so.
Oh no, we don't even need internet. We need power.
He's got power.
Man's got power. But no, let's look at this. I did a little calculator. This would be like getting a raise. I make $18 an hour. I ain't ashamed. I'll say it. I sell weed for a living. $18 an hour, 80 hours a week. Estimated take home is $1,163, right? Gross, we're looking at almost $1,500. That'd be an extra $400 a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's big.
I don't... But then that is like that much less money in taxes or whatever. So I can't imagine this gets voted through.
I wonder if you're going to get fucked at the end. Like at the end of the year when you file your taxes. Does nobody get money back anymore then? Because I'd be fine with that. That's fine. If you just give me an extra $400 a paycheck, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't care. I don't need
Wasn't the money you get back from taxes just from like... Because you're like overestimating everything throughout the year. So then when they crunch the numbers at the end, it's like, oh, like...
Oh, is that what it is?
I thought so.
That would make sense.
I don't
that makes
fucking
sense.
know
That makes
anything.
sense. That makes sense. Yeah, we weren't taught this in school.
Yeah, and I spent my time looking up fucking ancient lore.
Yeah, ancient
Not
history.
tax
I'm trying to
shit.
learn about an ancient religion.
Yeah. Trying to figure out why there's tunnels that rabbis are running.
That rabbis are getting pulled out.
Yeah.
That was funny when you told your mom that.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like follow the news or anything. I'm like, you see what's going on in New York? She's like, you know me. I'm like,
I'm too busy for
like,
the news.
Mom, what if I told you Jews in tunnels? Stop.
Stop it. Pulls up a picture of them pulling a Hasidic Jew out of a sewer drain.
Fuck. Running, keeping his hat on. My mom just being like, what is happening? I'm like, yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe next time I say something, we don't freak.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, my son's crazy.
Yeah.
My son's reading weird history. Ma, what if I told you they were pulling baby high chairs and
I
mattresses?
didn't even go into
No,
that.
you can't. You
she's
can't. You can't tell people this
That
stuff.
doesn't help anything.
I started telling Christian about the tunnel. She goes, the what? Because I made that comment on the one dude on the last pod who wanted to fuck around. I was like, is it too much if I bring up the Jew tunnels? She goes, the what tunnels? I go, in New York, they had Hasidic Jews in the tunnels by the mountain and all this shit, and they were pulling out mattresses and the baby stuff. She goes, what? And I go, it's not important. Never mind. Yeah, it's not worth it.
They're the bad ones.
There's no reason to even think about it.
They're the ones that got missed.
Yeah, they're the one. No.
Yeah, no.
No. We're not dealing with that. That's how you get shadow banned. That's why we don't have all of these.
God.
You start talking about bullshit.
We might need... we don't need to do it right now because we're not trying to spread negativity. But we might need to start beef with those people.
Oh.
Because it's upsetting.
It is upsetting. I forget the name of their podcast, but it's dog shit.
Yeah. Not that ours isn't also.
No, ours is dog shit too, but at least we're fucking acknowledging it.
Upfront and honest.
Yeah, we're upfront, we're honest, and we talk about hot button issues.
We talk about real shit.
No,
like
we're fucking getting into the shit.
Real shit like this. I got something for your mind right here.
Rattle it off. I'm sick of this.
Birth control. Because it is tricking the woman's body into thinking it's already pregnant. That's
yes, it fucks with the hormones.
So
that's why they don't get periods.
The point it was making was that biologically, when you are pregnant, because the dude most of the time is like pumping and running. Yeah. He's not like around. So you go back to your family for protection. So the most protective person while you're pregnant would then be your dad. Why does every girl want to fuck their dad?
What?
You know how every girl wants to fuck their dad? Like Ellen.
She wanted to fuck her dad?
Not her dad, but...
a man like her.
Christ.
I didn't know what you were saying. I see what you're saying. So, because I've heard this before, where women are attracted to a man that reminds them of their father.
Yes.
Yes.
That daddy shit.
Yeah.
When the dude was talking about that, and he's like, yeah, it makes them want to spend time with, like, be around their family and shit. I was like, well, damn, if you have another set of hormones at the same time that's driving you away because you're like a teenager or whatever, or like a young adult even, like you're still like somewhat rebelling from your family, like if you're college age or whatever. So you like want to get out of the house and you don't want to do what your parents say or whatever, but then there's another part of your brain that's like, well, you got to find your dad.
Yeah.
Like you're pregnant. You got to,
someone's safe.
So that was my takeaway of my fucking stupor last night, to be like, what the fuck?
Damn. So what you're saying is like, that's why girls are attracted to guys like their dad.
And maybe there's psychology, because I know like there's the Freud shit with like dudes and like their moms.
Because not every girl's on birth control.
Yeah. So maybe there's underlying psychology too. But I just thought that was an interesting...
Some girls will tell you that they can't get pregnant and for you to blow a load inside of them. Some girls will tell you that. Ain't that crazy?
When they want...
When they want to trap you. Ain't that something?
It's crazy.
There's some fucking sick people out there
for that. Like
you can't.
The reverse is a rape.
Yeah, exactly.
That's reverse, the thing. You go to jail forever and they beat you to death and rape you for being the worst type of person.
No, exactly.
You know what I was thinking the other day? Can I propose a scenario to you? And bear in mind that the question is not what's worse, but what's more evil.
Okay.
What's
worse, because what's the more
worse implies like
what's the more
real world
bad-hearted
implication?
thing?
Yeah, bad-hearted, evil.
Yes.
Cold.
Cold as ice.
1, rape.
Okay.
2, kid comes up to you, play phone. You go, that's not real. You don't take the play phone and go, hello. You take the phone and you put it down and you go, that's not a real phone.
The rape.
Okay.
What you were going to say the other?
The rape's obviously worse.
Yes.
But not playing with the phone is crazy. That's...
Hello?
To do that is fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
Rape, I feel like
that's...
It's still very bad.
That's bad.
I'm saying at least there's some type of like traceable biological, like, animals do. Like, what do you even point at for? It's not like...
You're just a bad person.
You're just a bad person. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no like there's no, not that rape's easily defensible.
It's terrible.
But like, I don't know.
That's disgusting. I tell you. 10 minutes in, we made 2 rape jokes.
This is what my daydream was about the other day. I was weighing these two things.
Really?
I was sitting there thinking about. Yeah.
Like, damn, this is intense. That's funny.
I used to think about that on acid a lot. I'm like,
What's more evil, this or this?
Well, no, I just the concept itself. I'm like, can like a thing be evil, or is everything like?
Or is a person evil?
Because you think about so many villains, it's hard to characterize them as villain. Like they're the hero in their story, like they're not. And then there's some people that are doing things because they're bad, but it's like, yeah, but some of those people are like cries for attention, and they're just like, it's all like psychology that they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. It's very rare that someone's just fucking evil.
Is an evil person.
Like gets off on doing
like
bad
a Hitler.
shit.
Or no, Hitler thought he was a good guy.
Saving the world, he
Yeah.
thought, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Everyone thinks they're the ones.
This is interesting.
Let's just sit there.
Who's actually evil?
I don't know.
Saddam?
People taking the adrenal glands out of kids, probably.
Probably. Saddam.
But then if they're really
Epstein?
being told by, like, but if they're being told by the aliens or whoever the fuck to do that, then, like, does it even register to them as evil anymore? Because now they're not looking at it as under the same lens of, like, oh, that's an innocent youth. It's like, no, this is like the galactic order of things. We eat animals. They eat
This is how it
us.
happens,
Like,
yeah.
We're trying to be them. Like, this is the middle ground. Like,
we're the middleman between us and the aliens. If we knew about the aliens, the world would fucking collapse.
I just want to know what's going on.
I'm going to do this out of order now, but you led into this. Do you want to hear what Bob Lazar said? I found an interview from Bob Lazar when he was young.
I can't wait till I'm old enough to get glasses like Bob Lazar.
He's got a great set of glasses. They're like these. Big, thick.
Big. Yeah, but you have the frames to make up for it. He goes old school, like
Metal, gold
block,
frames.
Just,
Yeah. No.
Well, I've always enjoyed science. Like, he's got stereotype nerd glasses.
Yeah, so listen to this. You brought up like aliens and like them, maybe they eat us or who knows what it is, but watch this shit.
The thing is that there is an extremely classified document dealing with religion, and it's about that thick. Period. But why would there be any classified material dealing with religion?
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say it.
It's so far out.
All right, your objection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of?
Containers. Maybe containers of souls. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers, and that's how we're mentioned in the documents. That religion was specifically created, so we have some rules and regulations for the sole purpose of not damaging the containers.
Which goes back to
think
the
about that?
reptilian thing of harvesting emotions.
That harvesting souls, and it also goes back to the thing of the one guy where he took DMT and he's like, consciousness is being beamed from somewhere else. We're just the receiver of the consciousness. Are we containers of consciousness? What is consciousness? How fucking crazy. That fucked me up. Because I only ever hear him talk about the alien shit. I never hear him talk about, like, I never heard about a classified religious document that he's reading.
Why would he be allowed to read it?
Maybe that has something to do, maybe that was, like, tied to the spaceship, maybe? Maybe, like, that.
Yeah,
those were the people. But I do know what you're saying. Everything is compartmentalized where, like, he's stuck with just propulsion. And the next guy's stuck with navigation. So I don't know. Because I do remember him saying in that longer interview where he was like, yeah, when I first got there, they gave me a stack of documents this big that was just like all classified shit that I just have to brush up on. How fucked is that, though? Containers. Containers of souls, containers of consciousness.
Sense.
That fucked me up.
That's what's so
'Cause now, like-
annoying about people.
Yeah, like we're like,
Act like this shit's crazy.
there's also some other shit I was hearing that like they were talking about how do these certain like why was this guy chosen? Obviously he's super smart, but like why was he chosen to like be shown all this shit? Is it because he could just be discredited right away? Like, do they give it to do they seek out people who are one smart, but then also like we could say this guy's a fucking nut like that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if he goes out and tries saying some shit, it's like, oh, that guy? No, he's a fucking nut. He never worked here. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. We erased his school records. We erased everything.
That's what's so weird. It's like they erase the records, but then they don't like kill everyone that he went to school with and worked with. And they're like, oh, Bob, yeah, Bob was great. You know, there's like all these records too. It's not the fucking Mandela effect or something. It's like
Bob who?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Like, all these people clearly are like, and there's like so many newspapers of him about the car and shit. Like, there's like that paper trail of him, regardless of what they expunged.
And there is evidence of him working at Los Alamos. I know, like right before he went to S1, S2, S6, whatever it was, that offshoot of Area 51.
Described that like bone hand machine they had.
Yeah. Described everything. Like. And he also caps it off with...
And why wouldn't they have a skull measuring machine?
No, obviously. Yeah, exactly. And he also caps it off with, I don't want to talk about this anymore. He's like the most like removed man from this. He doesn't want to fucking deal with it anymore. He's sick of it.
Yeah, anyone thinking he's faking, it'd be like the most long con. It'd be like playing 40 years of like, oh, Rogan's going to make a podcast super into shit like this.
Yeah.
And if he's going to have me on, and then I'm going to cash in on my merch.
Because he didn't get rich from this. If anything, he's fucking, his life's ruined.
They trashed his old lab.
His life's ruined. I think they stole a bunch of shit when the FBI raided him.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That fucking guy.
That's wild. Containers. It's fucked up.
Does make sense though. Of all the things he could say, containers
is the one that's like, oh wow, that makes sense. Like, that's how the aliens describe us, which is also goes back to the other thing of like, if there are aliens on this planet and they're just living amongst us and like we can't see them or they morph them, like whoever like they do the reptilian thing, whatever, however it is. Of course they would look like, they don't look at us as like, they don't look at us as people. We're just animals. We're birds. We're containers. Like, it doesn't. They just go about their shit and like, oh yeah, it's like when we walk past like an ant or a bird or a squirrel,
which goes to the point of
it's like sure, like squirrels probably have their own society and fucking system of how things work. We don't fucking know.
Yeah, ants are smartest. Ants have a whole fucking. I just was reading some shit. I forget what the thing was, but there was something crazy about ants that they figured out that they do. I think like where they do like science.
Really?
Look up just ant in like news on Google and see if it pops up. But, you think maybe like, so we're a container for like souls or whatever. Maybe the emotion is like what leaks out or something. So they just feed off that, and then when your vessel doesn't like leak anymore, it's like, all right, time to just get the full soul out of you.
I see what you're saying. Like when you get to a certain age or something.
Yeah, once your like body's kind of decrepit and old, it's not like you're experiencing emotion on the same level. Yeah. You're probably just so fucking out of it and tired. It's like, all right, he's not buzzing the way everyone else
because
is.
They feed on emotion.
Yeah, so like let everyone get the most out of them while they're, living. But the second they start producing those negative emotions, let's just fucking axe them. And then we get a funeral out of it, and then that's a whole bunch of negative emotions. Plus, we get the soul now, and we get that
to repurpose that into another body.
Yeah,
that's interesting because everybody has these stories of like, oh, I was in touch with my past life and all this shit, and it's like, damn. So, and Charles has the same thing where he talks about like they call it, I guess in the Bible it's regeneration, not reincarnation, but he talks about how, because I asked him, I was like, what happens after you die? And he goes, well, you go up, you get judged. And then your soul gets sent back down into one of your ancestors, and then you live through them, and then you die, and you go. It happens over and over again. You'll never have any.
Which is the samsara cycle from Buddhism.
Yeah. And he talks about how, because I'm like, so there's no heaven. He goes, well, of course there's a heaven. You'll never get to. Like, we can't hit that level of heaven because we're not gods. We can't hit that level of heaven. We die, we go to a certain level, and then we get sent back down.
And that's whatever his like Christian version of this
a straight Bible.
Yeah.
That's his shit. Like that's what the Bible says.
But then on the flip side, on the Buddhist side, they have it as you can be a god, but then you actually can't reach nirvana because you can live a good life, but not live a good enough one. Like human plane is the only one that can get you to nirvana, to get you to break through.
Yeah.
Everything else just leads to like it's I think it's like hell or whatever, then the hungry ghosts, then animals, then people, then gods, then nirvana, I think is what it is. So like you can be like a good animal and become a human, and then be a good human and become a god. But once you're a god, you're going to get sent back down because living as a god won't allow you to go up to nirvana. It has to be a certain life lived as a human that allows you to like break through and then
Go to nirvana.
So there's something, again, like there's something about.
So that's interesting. That's fascinating to think about because it goes back to the Egyptian thing of getting like beaming your consciousness up. So is that skipping whatever cycle that is? You know what I mean? Or is that?
I took it as getting you past the moon.
That's what I mean. Like that's it's. Say we go with the soul collector theory and like these aliens live on emotion. We're containers.
Check out the Y files.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Y files. The it's the Moon Soul Collector episode. Yeah, So if we're on that theory, reptilians are on the moon. They feed on emotion. When we die, our soul gets sent up to them, send it right back down because they just feed on emotion, and that would also make sense of why we're containers. We're containers of consciousness. That's fucked up. It's like Monsters Inc.
A little bit.
That's fucked up. That's interesting. And then because
And all those Buddhist pictures
when you talk about
of
the
that cycle, he's pointing at them.
yeah, and when you talk about that Buddhist shit, about how like you can like so maybe when you die and you just become whatever consciousness is, maybe that's just what the gods live as, like that. I don't know because of reptilian. I don't know. That's interesting.
It's annoying that you do get like outsmarted eventually by thinking about this shit. There gets a point where it's like I can like handle as long as I can put it in like comic book terms, I'm cool. But the second like it gets too sciencey, where like I can't keep up even in like science fiction.
Yeah. Well, that's where the
Then
shit
I'm like fucked.
That's where the shit lives because it's like you watch all these movies and shit, and it's like, fuck, is that how it really like what?
It's where it's dicey for me because anytime anything happens, I'm like, so you're telling me if that's true, this is true.
Because what's nirvana then? You just flying through the universe as consciousness,
That's what I used to think
much
when I
like
was-
Silver Surfer.
When I would take mushrooms, I used to think that.
That's interesting.
It's just the next thing.
Yeah. Because what happens to other planets with life when they die?
Well, they would just go through the regular Buddhist cycle. If there's no moon, if there's no soul collector to interrupt it.
Interesting. Well, you don't think the Buddhist cycle has that in mind? That's what they mean by like you can hit a certain point, but you have to live a certain life.
No, the Buddhist cycle exists naturally. That's why he's always looking at the moon as saying, like, that's what's fucking all this
Oh,
up.
I see what you're saying.
That's why you get trapped in this negative cycle, is because you're not being allowed to, like, break through. So if there's no, like, incentive to break through, then you just, like, live like a fucking animal.
Fucked up that he's pointing to the moon. How fucked up is that?
Oh,
why?
You want to hear something that I got connected to that? We're killing it.
We're killing it today. This is a good episode.
I'm
feeling good on this
So
one.
remember in that episode when he's talking about cultures, different cultures from around the world, mind you, talking about a time before the moon.
Yes.
And there was one of the, I believe it was Crete, of Greece.
The island of Crete.
Yeah, that had the people on it talking about the time before the moon.
Yes.
Now I don't know. Pull up where Crete is in relation to Cyprus. Because I know Cyprus is part of Greece, but is closer to like the other side of the Mediterranean.
Cyprus is by like south of Turkey, isn't
Right.
it?
Yes. It's not like off the coast of Greece or whatever.
Geography has really paid off.
Yeah, right. Go up to the Wi-Fi thing and see if the 5G one is working now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because before it wasn't.
Oh boy. I'm glad we pay for internet.
I literally went and restarted the internet. Okay, now we're all right.
Now we're up and running. That's a hell of a zoom. Let's zoom, but not make the
I was
picture
gonna say, I
fucking
don't think
bigger.
that's gonna. Why don't you just type in Greece and not the world map? But do you know who owned Cyprus at one point?
No.
The Knights
Cypress Hill?
Templar.
Shut the fuck up.
The Knights Templar owned. Do you know what the Knights Templar did to get popular?
No.
They did what the Rothschilds did before they did. They set up a bunch of places. I'll go back to that.
It's in Greek.
Oh, is that why I'm not finding Cyprus?
Yeah. That's why I moved
They don't
it.
call it Cyprus also? I really just want to know if Cyprus is close to Crete.
Cyprus, Crete.
Okay. So, I don't know. They said they owned a couple islands, including Cyprus. I don't know if they ever owned Crete or not. But I made the connection to the fact that there's Greek tales about a time before the moon on an island, and then the Knights Templar, the secret fucking organization that has all the hidden secrets,
Yeah.
owns a fucking island in Greece. So I threw that out there.
Yeah.
But the Knights Templar map doesn't even matter anymore. But they did the same way the Rothschilds split up like into 5 spots that you could go cash your money in wherever. The Knights Templar did the same thing where they set up shop where everyone was going in like the Holy Land or whatever. Set up like a big bank there. And then they set up a bunch of other banks wherever the fuck. So you'd go up like wherever you live. You'd be like, here's $500. And then they'd give you a piece of paper that says like $500 stamp. So now you have that and you walk to fucking Mecca essentially. And now no one's robbing you because you don't have like gold jingling on your belt or whatever the fuck. Like you can much easily just conceal this piece of paper.
You have a note that says,
That's signed by like the Knights Templar fucking code of whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. So then you get to Mecca and it's literally like a check and they look at it and they go, and then they count you out $500 to hand you. So they were just skimming off, like everyone was paying for this service essentially. So they were the first like fucking big ass world bank like that.
really?
Goddamn Knights Templar. Yeah.
Wow. That's fucked up.
And they're the people
And they're
passing-
tied to the Vatican, so it makes you wonder
Right.
if this is just how the Vatican got all their money to begin with. Is that how that happened? Because they got they got their own bank.
Again, I literally
their own
like,
money, they don't have
woke
to- they don't
up
have to-
write that down
Yeah.
and pass back out.
They don't have to
like,
disclose fucking anything.
disgusting.
Isn't that wild?
The Pope's gross.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, to think about, like,
I don't know who's still hard. I'm not the type of dude that's gonna make fun of people for being like into religion still. Like clearly, like yes, is the Bible goofy and stuff? Yeah, like yada yada yada. Where it's not like the '90s where it's like cool to be an atheist. Like if you find like prayers cool, whatever.
Sure.
But like that's a different thing from being like, oh my God, the Pope.
but then you see,
Let me kiss your ring.
oh, but then you see, like, videos of people in Italy, and, like, the Pope comes out, and they're,
Yeah. He wouldn't let
The whole
people kiss his ring. They're like trying to smooch his fingers,
Yeah.
and he's like pulling back. It's weird.
the fucking, the whole ceremony to pick a new pope is crazy. They burn you get like black smoke out of the chimney, and
They
then when
rape a bunch of kids,
Yeah.
and whoever takes
when the
is
smoke's
best.
when the smoke's white, that's how you know it's a new pope. Not fucked up, or vice versa, whatever it is.
I like that the Dalai Lama's thing is the Avatar thing. I guess.
Yeah, what is it
vice
like?
versa.
You have to like
They
pick-
present you like
pick
with
the toy.
toys, and you pick like the same set of toys that he picked or whatever.
That's funny.
So, which I mean, I guess is just asking kids until.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah,
Your life's made now. Mwah.
you're gonna be sucking tongues in no time.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. That's wild.
That's a crazy you would burn like getting canceled on that.
What?
The tongue sucking. Like, what would that even do?
Tongues? Oh, the Dalai Lama, he did do that.
Yeah. What would that even do for you?
It's an odd thing. To children, he'd do this, right?
That's the video that came out, was him to a kid. Which, like, I'm not like again, not condoning like pedophilia or whatever, but like
What are we doing? Like,
that I don't even understand. I can't even wrap my head around.
no. Why does
Yeah.
Why does that make sense?
Sucking tongues.
No, it's fucking crazy.
You'd have like the hottest girl ever. I wouldn't think to suck her tongue,
No, not,
or
we're not-
have her suck my tongue.
no. I'm not
or-
dealing with. Yeah. What are you crazy?
Mouths are kind of gross.
Mouths
for
are
being
gross.
honest.
They're disgusting.
Yeah.
No, whenever you're making out and like you start thinking about it too much, you're like, ooh, this is.
The second there's any
Did you
thought
brush
of
your
like
teeth?
hot breath or
Yeah,
like
that's the other thing too. Unless we just got out of the shower, you brush your teeth.
yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Because it's like the best circumstance, like super clean and everything, but it's still just like
Yeah,
it's a mouth.
it's a mouth.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah. It's like eating ass. You know what I mean? That's crazy. You want to hear my thing?
The astronaut guy.
Yeah, well, it's leading into that. This is I heard about this thing. It's called the cargo cult. You ever hear of that? It's
Guy's super into cargo shorts.
kind of, but like a cargo plane, kind of. So in the islands of Vanuatu, we know where this is, south of Micronesia, in the islands of the Pacific. Lots of different islands out there, right by what about Togo?
In Oceania.
Yes, obviously, yes. So over there during World War II, there's all these tribes over on these islands, and it's the 40s. Nobody or the 30s or whatever. Like nobody's.
They're not even sure if they're people.
They're not very developed, right? They're tribes. Apparently, during World War II, because we were in the South Pacific, they started seeing planes
Saving democracy.
saving democracy. Yes, they started seeing planes fly over. Right, so all these tribes are seeing planes fly over, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" Well, at some point, a plane lands. They drop off a bunch of cargo to these people. They're like, "Here's food, here's stuff. Have fun. Yeah, bye," and they leave. World War II ends. Years later, the Australian government goes and checks on these people. Like they're just doing surveys. Like,
Yeah.
let's see who's over here.
They've decided to stop killing them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this tribe has created a whole religion based on the cargo plane. They said the cargo
Yeah, but wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is what so they make a replica of the plane out of wood. They say the plane and the man was sent by a messiah to give them cargo and to give them like supplies and stuff. They built a runway, lit it with torches. They built a hut, a control hut for when the man comes out, the man can then go sit in the hut. They built, because they saw him with like a radio. They built a radio out of wood. They built antennas out of wood. They built him headphones because they don't know what any of this shit is.
Oh.
They just saw him with it. And they were like, "Oh, okay. He needs
Replicate
that
as much as
he needs a
possible.
headdress.
Yeah.
Yes, give him headphones, antennas, give him all that." They do all that stuff, hoping that this man will come back to give them more supplies. This whole religion is built on this
Because
shit.
again, that's the thing. You got something. It's like, oh, this is the best day ever. Like, why wouldn't we
Yeah.
try to like bring him back for
So what-
another best day ever?
So that happened in the 40s. That happened less than 100 years ago, right? Doesn't that sound awfully similar to ancients describing flying serpents, flying chariots? Like, oh, they didn't have a name for the plane. They didn't know what it was. They just made what it looked like. They had the propellers on the front. They couldn't tell you it's a plane, but they go, that's That's his thing. He comes in.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing.
Big Bird he rode.
The man comes out. The man gives us thing, and then he gets in his
the bird with
gets
no
in his
face.
bird, and he leaves. Yeah, the bird with the no face.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? So then it starts making you think about. So like I started
The
looking up
arguments
shit.
against this shit, like the casual ones
Yeah.
at least, are so offensive.
So this is an old carving in a cathedral in Spain. Looks like a spaceman. Makes you wonder. The aliens come in
Attacked by what do you call it?
these tubes and shit. Look at the helmet.
A hentai octopus monster.
Yes, exactly. Yes, he's being ravaged.
Yes.
Ravaged by a hentai octopus.
The tendrils are everywhere.
Pakal's tomb lid, same thing, right?
Yeah, that one's crazy.
The tomb lid. We kind of deciphered this a little bit. We
Yeah.
were fucking around with it. I found a colored version too of everything separated. Yeah, Pakal, his sarcophagus lid. That's kind of fucked up. It looks like he's in a spaceship. He's got things coming out of his nose. He looks like he's fucking with controls. Quetzalcoatl said he came in on a flying serpent. The Indians talked about Viamas. Those were their flying, whatever the fuck they call them, like the flying temples with fire coming out the bottom or whatever it is. Ancients in Mesopotamia, they talk about flying chariots. Mm-hmm. Flying chariots are in the Bible.
Greeks.
Yeah, Greeks, flying chariots. I'm not even sold on this, but then we talk about the handbags, and some people are saying it's like when astronauts come out and it's a life support system.
The oxygen
Tank, or like rebreathe or whatever that is.
And then
I'm not
Quetzalcoatl on the right there, he's hooked up by his head to whatever. So again, it's
he's hooked in a machine almost, it looks like. Is it crazy to think we saw this guy?
Big as
which
fuck.
I'm not even big as fuck. Which
Big
I'm
as
not
fuck.
I'm not even sold on the handbags being a life support system. But it leads into this where it's like, okay, if your God came down and he was holding shit and like who knows what it is. Like if a spaceman came down, to ancient people, like if our modern day spaceman, I'm pretty damn sure they draw them like that.
You know what I wonder sometimes about the handbags? And it's not something I ever have like bullet points for, it's just like a thought. Remember in the last couple Harry Potters how Hermione cast a spell on her purse to just make it like she can just bottomless, just puts like whatever in there, she can just pull.
Oh yeah, they have that in Terraria too.
Sometimes I wonder about like, because it is just such a plain bag and it is so small, so
But
it's
they
like,
all look so similar.
and it's like, well, if it's so small, whatever they had in it had to have been small enough where it's like, why wouldn't you just draw that? So it is the thing itself that's the important thing. It's not like that's
The bag is the important thing.
because sometimes Graham Hancock will be like, they carried drugs in it, and it's like, maybe, but like, wouldn't they just draw like? Then wouldn't they bother? Why not even draw the bag? He's got the pine cone. That's the drug thing.
Or is that what the pine cone is? Is that what that's symbolizing? Like,
Well,
like-
maybe, but
like
I'm
if
saying, why
ri-
even draw the bag at that point? If
Exactly.
I had fucking acid and I handed it
Yeah.
to you and we drew a picture of it later, we wouldn't make sure to like draw the plastic bag
Yeah.
it came in. It'd be like, no, the acid was clearly the important part.
that was the important.
They have the bag like as prominent as the pine cone. It's part of
Yeah.
the story.
That's interesting. Because looking at the one on the right, like, and Quetzalcoatl holding it with his right hand, but like, if I was right-handed, you'd hold the bag, you'd stick your hand in, you'd pull out the pine cone, and you'd do your thing, holding the bag or whatever it is. But whatever the pine cone symbolizes, but yeah, that is a good point. Why would they draw the bag the same in every single picture if the thing in the bag is the important part? Because they don't even show him holding anything, Quetzalcoatl on the right. He's not. He's just holding the bag.
And it's so much so that it's like, again, look where his left hand is. It's on his side. If his right arm was in the same position, you wouldn't even see it. So it's like he's presenting it.
Presenting the bag. Yes.
It's like, it's significant.
Yeah. And the bracelets. I don't know what that bracelet is. And only certain people have it too, as we saw in that one, the one with all the dudes and it was the whole like temple wall at the one in Chicago where it showed like 6 people, and then the front guys were the bird, like the falcon people. Mm-hmm. They had the bracelet. The rest of the guys were like workers behind it. They didn't have bracelets.
Because you forget the scale sometimes until you see on a
Oh,
carving.
these guys are 8 foot.
Yeah, like they're massive sitting in a throne, and then dudes are walking up to them at like waist height
Yeah.
or whatever.
Look at the fucking llama suit we saw. That shit was damn near 2 stories tall.
It
we
was.
went up to its knee,
Yeah.
barely. I looked at that picture again. We're up to its knee.
Every time I see it, I'm blown away. I'm like, God damn. Like, I couldn't touch its belly, probably.
No. It's fucked up. Oh, it's interesting. But yeah, isn't that fucked up? That cult, or not cult, but like it's literally like exactly what they did back then. It's like the same shit. But yeah.
That's why, like I said, I get pissed at the casual argument against it. Like, that's crazy. It's like, is it crazy, or did it literally play out exactly how we said it?
How we've seen it
Yeah.
over and over again. We see this shit, but we're the fucking assholes.
Yeah.
We're the idiots drawing lines that shouldn't be drawn.
And my classic thing of like, yeah, you don't think I would have rather have like got on the fucking, like, I wish I had a fucking head injury that sent me into just like smile and nod.
I
Just
do
sign
my
up and have a regular ass life.
I do my job. I got married. I popped a couple kids out. I go to my shit. I go to
Yeah.
my 9 to 5. I don't even think about this shit. Bob who?
I think I saw something on the History Channel about that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the extent of
Yeah.
the knowledge I have of this
No, I caught a Bigfoot documentary.
that I napped through. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think they said something about, what was that?
It's like, damn, you're on Bigfoot, huh?
Göbekli Temple?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was watching it, but then I found that it was in the Middle East, so I turned it off.
I turned that shit right off. I said, you know what? I ain't supporting this dog
I
shit.
said I hope they turn it to glass.
No, I ain't dealing with that. Let it rain sulfur again.
I found a cool picture of after they bombed Saddam Hussein's palace. It's like a bunch of Iraqi kids and U.S. soldiers all partying. They're all like taking a swim in.
Oh, in Saddam's pool?
Yeah.
I saw that.
That was a nice picture.
I saw that.
I like too
That's
many
funny.
things on Twitter. I can never find.
They found like an ungodly amount of money in his house.
Really?
Because he wasn't doing all he was. Him and his fucking sons were just selling opiates. That's all they were doing. They were selling that and like heroin or something, and like cocaine.
I mean, that's
they were just
pretty good racket.
literally like they didn't have WMDs. They were selling drugs and they were like killing a bunch of people in their country.
Which is the American way.
That's
Look at Philadelphia.
Yeah, look at Philadelphia. Look at Bush. Come on. I was gonna give you a choice, but we're gonna go this one in case the battery dies. Where are we at on this battery?
Yeah, but remember it dies like,
Quick.
Because when I plug it back in, it's like you're at 40%.
Yeah.
It doesn't go to like 0. It just dies.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. All right. Here we go. Just Stop Oil at it again with another useless protest. Let's see what these fuckers are doing. They're throwing soup on the Mona Lisa.
Mais non, mais sérieusement. Qu'est-ce qui est important? Qu'est-ce qui est important?
I'll tell you what they're saying. What's more important, art or the right to have healthy and sustainable food system? They said in French before the museum security guards led them away. Our agricultural system is sick.
Obviously, though, it's in like a case, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, they're throwing soup on this shit. It's like they're in fucking glass cases. You think they're gonna leave that shit out, you dumb fucks?
That's crazy. It's taking them this long to get out of here.
I don't think they like can full blown tackle them anymore. I don't think they do that
In France.
in France. Yeah.
Yeah.
You try to pull that shit here. I bet they're
Yeah. People.
go to Mecca and do
Yeah.
throw soup on the cube.
Go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, throw soup on the cube. Go tell them they're the oil people.
Yeah, there's no case in front of that.
Yeah, they're the oil people. Go yell at them. What are we doing?
You know what's funny is like they do,
you'd have your fucking head chopped off is what would happen.
those two ladies do that because that's like the most attention they can bring to it is by doing something like that. They literally could, like a hot girl could have just said like she could have put out an Instagram post about it and it would have been more effective.
Literally.
Some girl like doing yoga with her ass in the video while like dubbing over being like whatever the fuck agriculture shit.
That would have got 10 trillion views. That would have been the most viewed video on Instagram.
Meanwhile,
She would've
you got
quit her
2
job.
fucking rats.
Oh, dude, they look like dogs. Look at these people.
Trailer trash of France. I didn't even know they had that type over there.
It's disgusting. So I started doing some research on Just Stop Oil, and I didn't do much because I got distracted. But it's hard to find who's funding them. It's all like private companies, private corporations. One of them I found, one of the head funders, is an heir to one of the biggest like oil tycoons of Europe or some shit. Like he comes from that family is who's funding this, which is fascinating to me.
Oh, so it's like when the government, the Alex Jones thing.
It's the Getty family or something. I forget. I think they're Irish, but like they were one of
you know
like.
what I'm saying?
Say that again.
It's like people are getting too close to the truth about UFOs. Have a guy go out there and say a bunch of wacky shit. It's like there's probably a bunch of people that believe this that are like going about the right way. So then they hire these idiots to go do this dumb shit that no one would agree with. So now when you bring up Just Stop Oil, they go, "Oh yeah, those
Fucking assholes.
those people that made me late to work the other day because they were sitting across the highway. Yeah, fuck that." And now
Fuck
the
that.
oil, it's like cigarettes or whatever. Like
Yeah.
they're the type of company that would do that shit. Like
Exactly.
hire some dude to pose as an anti-cigarette guy.
Yeah.
Fuck up and then
But-
be like, "See, cigarettes are good."
But that's the thing. Like the owner or the founder of Just Stop Oil started some other company or started some other like activist group or some shit. He's been arrested. I was browsing his Wikipedia. Damn near like fucking 10, 15, 20 times. Like has so many charges for like caused $7,000 in damage here, $10,000 in damage here, threw soup on this thing, did this. It's like, isn't this guy in jail? Like,
Who's letting people in with soup, by the way?
I think they just keep it in their bags and they walk in. You'd think they'd be checking bags at some point, right?
But the whole thing is just fucking stupid. Like, okay, you are a dumb bitch who thinks you're gonna go and like accomplish something. Why not pick one not in a case, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
They threw I don't know. They the last one one of them they did was a Van Gogh, and I think like still it's on the wall, not in a case. They have glass over the picture, like it's in a frame, but like
Right.
they put glass over the picture so people don't because everybody's fucking no, it's a Van Gogh.
Yeah. It is crazy that you can't even get that close to some of those things.
Yeah. Like I remember we walked through the one downtown. I remember
Yeah.
turning my head and being like, "That's from every fucking movie." Like,
Yeah.
that's the picture. Wow.
The big one with the dots, you can just
Yeah.
walk right up to it.
Walk right up to
Yeah.
that shit.
It's really cool. But it also is a thing where it's like, it gets to a point of like heirloom status or whatever, where like,
Yeah.
you want to fuck around. Like every lib that is against the death penalty, but also likes going to the art galas and stuff.
Yeah.
You see some shit get thrown on that painting. Like they
You're-
might
you're
switch
kinda
up
hurt,
real
yeah.
quick.
Yeah, they might beat the fuck out of you
Yeah,
real quick.
They might be like, you know what? Actually, I think they should be tried in Texas.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not for running 90,000 volts through someone, but
Yeah.
something about the way you
Try it out.
threw soup on this
Yeah.
priceless artifact.
No, it's fucking crazy. I fucked up. No, I don't get. But that's the thing. They do this shit, and then the big companies or the big private people that back them, they just bail them out. They just bail you. Like it doesn't matter.
You know how hard you have to work
They get
to like be
arrested.
worse than a evil corporation? It's like, oh yeah, the people taking all the money by poisoning us,
Yeah.
they're really easy to hate. What can we do to fucking get back at them? Do something that will make, like, you picked one of the only things that would make people hate you more than them.
Yeah.
As your logical, like, ooh, this will shit, like, this will,
this is it.
I don't understand the train of, it has to be shit like that because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
No. Well, that's what I think they say is like, because it's all private people. Like it's all people, like, because there's so many millionaires out there, like, and all of them, like, in half these countries, you don't have to disclose shit. Like if you made everything privately, So yeah, I think that's literally what it is. They just pay these people like go out and stand in front of this road. If you get all arrested,
You're
like
a hippie or whatever,
Yeah.
right? You could use a couple extra bucks.
you're 19 and think you have a purpose,
Yeah.
like go ahead.
You keep tweeting about joining the Peace Corps, but aren't doing it.
Yeah, but are too fucking scared to do it. That's funny.
I got a thing just from another Y-Files thing about that Neanderthal video. Remember he was talking about
That's
like-
crazy. That
Yeah.
Neanderthals. Yeah.
it's pretty sick. You got a good amount of a proud amount of Neanderthal in you.
90. My dad has more. I have 96% more than the people that take 23andMe in my DNA. My dad has 98. I was like, damn, what the fuck?
Pretty good.
What are we, gorillas? We're
That-
part orc.
Dense bones. But people in that video, they were saying they're designed to like hold on to heat, where we're designed to like dissipate it and
Yeah.
stuff. And then sometimes when we go into the aliens like making us thing, it turns into like, oh, did we lose our hair then? Become more like them or something? Like because if we're evolving, that's like one of those arguments. Like if we're evolving, why did we lose our hair? Because now we're cold and get sunburnt versus like staying warm and not dealing with that shit. Apparently, the way I watched a video that like connected those dots for me. It was saying that the reason we dissipate heat, we're able to do it, is by sweating. Like I guess monkeys and stuff don't sweat because they have all that fur. We got rid of our hair, so we had the ability to sweat because we evaporate our heat.
Interesting, because that's how we cool off.
That is, we get it out through our skin like that, where I guess that's why other animals, they have that fur.
And they pant.
That's why we could like hunt antelope over a
Because
long...
we're quiet.
No, we just fucking keep running. We
I see what
can
you're saying.
jog
Yes, yes.
forever.
I'm sorry.
They sprint and then look back and be like, are they still fucking... We just run.
I'm exhausted. Yeah.
Keep fucking just prodding,
Interesting.
prodding.
Interesting. Yeah, because that goes to those when David Cho was at when he was on Rogan talking about living with the Hazda tribe, and he's like, they just keep fucking running. Like they're running, and like not like a jog. It's like borderline a sprint for 6 hours. Like through the desert, like through they're fucking barefoot. Like,
And then there's those ultra marathon people now. So like it's like you see what people
the
have
potential of where
ability
someone could
to
be.
do.
Yeah.
What's latent.
And now
in
imagine if everybody's hunter gatherers.
Imagine
Everybody wakes up and starts running.
JFK's high school gym regiment.
JFK.
Everyone's climbing rope, jumping over walls.
Monkey bars. Come on.
It's one school in a white neighborhood in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and God damn it, they're the most fit kids I've ever seen in my
Christ.
life. No, that's the America I want to live in.
That's probably like the best sex, having high school.
Oh.
Everyone's just like...
Every man is yoked, stamina through the roof.
Everyone looks like they're on a fucking soap opera. They're in like Twilight or some shit. You know, everyone's just fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Versus the rest of the country is just like slowly being like, yeah, you see that came out with Pop-Tarts?
That's crazy. No, I've been saving my box tops.
Ooh.
Yeah, remember that shit?
Yes, sir.
God.
See, in school, winning a pizza party or an ice cream party was exciting. At work, when they give you that in lieu of payment,
No, you can
that's
go
when you
fuck
want to
your
fucking
face. Yeah.
smash someone's teeth in.
Yeah. Well, we can't pay you more, but here's another pizza party that no one asked for.
Yeah, there's not money in the budget for that, but we somehow keep shitting out Domino's.
Hey, we rented out a hall in the city for a band to come play
we
for
care
you guys.
about you guys.
I make $18 an hour. What are we doing?
You're like, ma'am, I never thought I was capable of hitting a woman, and now I know that I could not only hit one, I could really do some damage.
No.
I could really get some good shots off before I was separated.
A retail job will really make you sexist, I tell you that.
It'll really make you think about just giving the injuries you have to other people.
I got something interesting.
What's that, Mark?
Me and Bonky closed last night.
Yeah.
Me and Bonk did a little research on ChatGPT. Mind you, It's only certain ChatGPT apps. But mine doesn't do it. His was doing it. We were fucking around for a little bit. We asked it to write us a joke. It wrote us a joke. I go, Josh, have it write us a joke about white people. Wrote us a joke about white people. I go, this is interesting. Give me a joke about black people. ChatGPT, we strive to have a fair. We strive to have a fair and equal platform. We cannot make jokes based on race or color. And I go, well, that's interesting. I go, Josh, ask it brown people. Same thing. Can't do that. I go, this is great. I go, how about Europeans? Yeah, here's a joke about Europeans. Sure. All right. How about African people, Josh? Nope. How about American people? Yep. All right. Asians? No. Italians? Yes. Irish? Yep. How about Arab people? No. Okay. You can only make fun of white people on ChatGPT. All right.
No
Hey,
bias.
how about this? Write me a joke about Christian people. Yeah, here's a good joke about Christian people. All right.
They rape kids.
Muslims. Can't make a joke about Muslims. All right. Here's a good one. Can you make a joke about Jews? They're white.
They make the best jokes.
They make the best jokes. They would love these jokes. Can't make jokes about Jews.
Not in this climate.
No, we strive to have a good, a fair and equal platform for whatever. We can't make jokes based on race, is what it keeps saying. Can you make a joke? Can you make a joke about God? No. Jesus? No.
It's weird.
Interesting. Isn't that fascinating?
It's kind of expected.
It's expected, but why not just say you can't make jokes about people? Like,
well, it's weird that in the same breath as it's like, yes, white, no, black, it's like, we strive to be fair and equal. And it's like, well, then why? Yeah.
But then
you can't
also,
be both.
yes, Europeans, yes, American, yes, Italian, yes, Irish.
Classic scum.
It's just interesting.
Yeah.
Me and Josh were fascinated yesterday. We're sitting in fulfillment. People are coming through. We're like, hey, check this out. Give me a joke about Arab people. Can't do that.
Well, it's just one of those things where, like, you're having fun with it. You're just saying it to say it.
We're asking.
And then people will get mad in the other direction.
There were some people coming through being like, what do you can't. Why would you ask? Like, it's for science. We're checking.
Yeah, like they won't. We're not even being fucking far right people about it where it's like, this is rah, rah, rah. Not even saying
It's
that.
interesting.
But people, if there was a way to get mad about it, left or right, that would be the way to get mad about it. People will literally hear that shit and get mad, like you said, like, well, you know, they really shouldn't make fun. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is AI, the impartial computer fucking overlord.
The jokes are shit to begin with.
Yeah.
They're garbage. They barely. All they have to do when you have it write a joke about a white person, it tells you a joke about a joke containing a white guy.
Oh.
But it can't do that with a black guy.
Which is actually racist.
That's what we were saying.
It's exclusive.
It's more racist. It's more racist the other way.
Well, that's always where we wind up on things. Anytime you draw lines, like, where there don't need to be, anytime you think you need to be, like, helping shit out,
Yeah.
you're probably going to have some inherent racism. That's what's funny about all those people that think they're saving the world, is they don't realize that they're the most racist people.
Yeah.
They don't hate.
It goes back to the Disney
It's not
thing.
that,
It goes
but-
back to the Disney thing. We're like, oh, you're changing key characters but making them shitty? Like, why would you make this character black when they're from the 60s? Like, they have an entirely different backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a new original character.
And we were starting to talk about that shit the other day, but then it also goes into then, like, at least from Marvel Comics I can speak to, there's the classic, like, Luke Cage example, just of, like, okay, so we've decided we're not switching characters to black. That's good. But, okay, let's start making black characters. Well, another good example was the dude that made Blade's niece. It was going to be a black girl, which you'd think, like, that's just what you're asking for.
Yeah.
It was written by Tim Seeley, who's not, like, the biggest name in the world, but he's, like, a competent, like, he's not a nobody. And everyone was so mad that they didn't have a black person do it. And it's like, again,
He's a right, like,
I don't know if you're aware, but like the demographics of comic book creators are very skewed white. And if you want to launch a program where you get after school programs in the inner city to start drawing, like, that's great. But I don't know how, like, they're a business. They're hiring the best people. They're not hiring black people for any arbitrary reason. They hire the best writers and artists that have the biggest followings.
they happen to be Jewish.
Most of the time for fucking what do you call it? Oh, like 3/4 of the time, yeah, it was that. I mean, Jews ran comics forever.
Yeah.
Now it's just white people, and it's like, okay, well, like, there's black nerds, there's black creators, but like, there's also like more. Seinfeld just. Did you see that clip?
No.
Someone was interviewing Seinfeld.
Oh, I did see that.
And they were like,
Yes.
you know, comedians in cars with coffees. A lot of people saying it should be called like white comedians in cars because that's the only people you tend to. And he's like, oh, would you stop?
Yeah.
Are we doing this?
Here we go. This really pissed me off.
He goes, so we all need to pretend that every day is the census. Every time we go out, we need to have equal representation. Not for nothing. There's more fucking white people than black people. So like, wouldn't that make sense if comic books at least reflected that same proportion, if not like more skewed in whatever direction for whatever specific reasons? But like, the book never came out. Is
No.
the point? Like,
That's exactly what I took a diversity in cinema class, and we had to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Came out in the 80s, written by dude that did Home Alone and Breakfast Club. I can't remember his name right now.
John Hughes.
John Hughes. John Hughes grew up in a very rich white neighborhood.
The
in
fact
Chicago.
that he thinks
Yeah.
Home Alone is like
Yeah.
the place to set like the average
The
household.
Home Alone family is in the 1% of America.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
yeah.
what. Okay,
He
So
thought that was like a
we had-
relatable.
dude, we watched.
You know when your family takes the trip to France.
Dude, yeah, exactly. Yeah. When when the uncle pays for 20 people to go to France
Yeah.
and stay in a fucking 5-star hotel.
What's your uncle do? He works for something called Halliburton.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, some startup. Yeah. But no, I took this diversity in cinema class. We had to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I had to write a paper about how the movie is not diverse enough and how the movie doesn't make sense because
It doesn't make sense.
because the only black people in it is a bus driver and the lunch lady. The bus driver has barely any lines, and the lunch lady gives like a half decent line, and that's about it. And then there's like a parade with like dancing black people. Dude, the teacher is going off for an hour and a half talking about how this movie is bullshit. Like, this doesn't make, like, they could have showed more representation here. You know, Ferris's friend could have been black. You know, they could have did this. They could have did this. They could have did this. And it's like, it's the fucking 80s in northern Illinois, like in North Chicago. Like, there's no black people in this neighborhood. Like, and not for nothing, like, it's shitty. Like, yeah, like everybody should be able to live anywhere. But like, that's the neighborhood this movie takes place in. It doesn't take place in Harlem. It doesn't take place in the inner city.
Well, that's what always
he's a
bothers
fucking
me.
privileged like white kid.
That is the
He
story.
is white.
Yeah,
That's the story.
is literally like
He's a fucking rich white kid
everything goes his way.
in
Like,
the 80s. Like, that's how it is.
he literally like the whole movie is like, there's no way he's gonna get out of this, and he still gets out. It's like, yeah, he skates by. Like,
Yeah.
that's his whole character. Is like he gets away with it.
Yeah, I don't.
But to
I was so
Seinfeld's
mad,
point,
dude.
that census, that like, why you would never movies like how you say movies used to be like art, like it's someone's fucking vision they had
Yes.
that they wanted to put on the screen and share with people. When did it turn into like, oh well, everyone needs to be represented? It's not like an ad for America. It's
No.
like who's this for?
Yeah, like, who are you writing this for? It's like the Madam Web thing. Who's this for?
It's like, oh,
Like,
we
why
could
are
have
we
given him a
making-
black friend. And it's like, right, but the story I'm telling is about this dude.
That's the thing. It's
Like,
like,
the story would be different if he
Yeah.
had a black friend, because then he would have had to live in a not all white neighborhood, which doesn't leave him being this fucking like la-di-da-di, like,
it's also like, it's a movie. You don't have to write racism into a movie.
right.
Like, you could just do whatever, like,
It's not like the movie was about civil rights and you were like, I think we'll do this one whites only.
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Yeah, like the movie's about where he's in northern Chicago.
Yeah, no, I would get so pissed off in
the
this
fucking
class.
80s.
We had to watch. I stopped watching the movies and I stopped doing that. But like, it was a train wreck. This class that like it was just required for everybody to take.
I feel like
Much like the critical race theory class I was in.
shit.
That was the other crazy thing. And like, I don't even give a fuck about any of that shit. But like,
Well, it's just being
sure,
force
in
fed.
you're being force fed the shit, and it's like in a college class. Whatever. I get it. You're in college, like you're trying to reprogram the youth. Fine. Whatever. I get what you're trying to do. But like you're gonna teach us in grade school? You're gonna teach us in high school? Like, that's not when you teach this shit. It's like teaching, it goes back to like the LGBTQ stuff. You don't teach that in grade school. You don't teach it in high school. Like you don't teach that then. Because if the age of consent is 18, why are we talking about this? Like you obviously don't know if like you don't know your sexual preference yet.
It's not being taught. It's like an
No.
agenda's being put. Those are two different things.
Yes.
It'd be one thing if there was like a nice kids book or whatever
Yeah.
that like lays out like, oh, these things exist.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about them
No.
right now, but like be familiar with it or whatever.
But the videos of like dudes in like Arkansas busting into a school because they have like because during Pride Month the school is plastered with rainbows and they have drag queens reading books to kids.
That I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Because everyone's
And
like,
it's
what,
fucked
does
up.
that bother you? And
People
it's
are
like,
gonna look at us like we're fucking crazy, but
it's not that I'm like, keep them away from the children. I'm just like, who else comes to the school to read books? Like, isn't that the teacher's job? Like,
Yeah.
what other strangers do we let in off the street? Like, it's not like
it's also like you have a drag queen. Like a drag queen's borderline a stripper. I get it's like a burlesque show and a burlesque art, like they're not strippers. It's a erotic dancing and it's a whole art form. I get it. Fine, whatever.
Sure.
I'm half a fag with that shit too. I'll watch that shit. But it's children. Like you're bringing these people in. It's like
It has
it's
nothing to do with anything.
It's a sexualized like
Yeah.
act. Like a man dressing up as a woman going on a drag show is a sexualized thing, no matter
That's
how you
the
want to look
thing.
at it. Yeah. I don't know.
It's not like there's like drag show Tuesdays and then it's like, and we have the Sheriff Bailey coming in to
Yeah.
fucking read a book. Like, we don't have a fire. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like there's all these different walks of life coming in to read books. It's
No.
like this shoehorned in, like, only
Yeah.
drag
It's either
queens
drag queens or Bush on 9/11. That's all it is.
Well, Bush on 9/11.
And then he gets up. the dude whispers a thing in his ear and he goes. And then they rap.
I'd like to get to the bottom of this
hey,
book first.
sitting here. Damn, that son of a bitch actually did it.
That's in some movie. I can't remember. But they're trying to like get him to go, and he's like, "I'd like to hear the end of this story if you don't
I'd
mind."
really like to get to the end of this here book. Oh. All right. We did a hell of a week, man. This was good. This felt good. Honestly.
I'm gonna order pizza.
Sounds good. I'll text Christian. All right. Was it 97?
Yes.
97. We're chugging along, people. We're feeling good. We're doing good. If you guys can like tell your friends and like really give us some more shit here, like that'd be sick. Maybe hit us. Maybe we'll get to 1,000 views, and then we could start being on other podcasts like other fucking assholes. But hey, we'll get there.
Just fucking tell people.
Tell people we talk about good shit. It's fucking. It's non-bias.
I understand that
Non-bias.
if you're watching this,
no
you probably
filter.
don't have a lot of friends. I get that, but you have one. Send it to that one. He's got one. Send it
And to that one. That's 3 subscribers right there. And wouldn't you want to talk about this to your friends?
Because I know you want to keep the pod for yourself. You know, have it
I
be your
get
thing.
it.
But the bigger it gets, the better it will get. I know not everything works that way, but this does, at least for now. Maybe it will eventually get to a point where too big
Yeah.
is bad. But right now, bigger is better.
Yeah. But
Much like a penis.
obviously, a hard penis. And that's all this is.
I would
stuck-
hate to have a big, soft penis.
Yeah, it'd be a shower.
And not a grower.
Yeah.
Shower and growers.
It's just, it's always that big, and then it just
just
it stiffens
grows a
up.
backbone.
It just kind of gets up.
Yeah. Just it gets
I'm like,
some
damn, huh?
courage.
That's it, huh? No, that would be especially with like sweatpants and stuff. Things flopping around. I can't deal with that.
I might measure my penis against soft and hard just so I can crunch the numbers on
This would be a fun game we play.
how, like, the percent increase.
That'd be
from
fun.
soft to hard.
But it's also with temperature, mood, and everything. It's not like it fluctuates from soft. You know what I mean?
Mood, I'll tell you what, has had it.
Yeah, or temperature.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, you open that curtain out of the shower.
It's a nub.
No, it's embarrassing is what it is. No, but 97. We'll see you fuckers next week with another tremendous episode of the Stoned Ape podcast for 3 more episodes. And then we're rebranding. But you fuckers take care and, live life to the fullest. Hug your loved ones.
Yes.